Welcome to our show, Around Showdown. Our mission is to bring you the best entertainment possible. Please sit back and enjoy the show. Brought to you by SEI Entertainment Services.
All right. Welcome to the show Around Showdown. The rules are simple. 2 residents get 5 minutes to lay out their best one-day travel itinerary. You, the viewer, decides whose itinerary is the best by voting in the comments. Okay, so let's get to it. Today we're looking at Seattle, Washington. And first up, and the episode is brought to you by Cafe Juanita in Kirkland, Washington. Can't forget that. Okay, and first up is Bryce. Hello, Bryce.
Yes, hi, Paul. So when I have family in town, I start by taking them on the Boeing factory tour up in Everett. It's an hour and a half long, but you have to get tickets in advance.
So it's not a museum. You're actually in the factory?
Well, there's a small museum at the entrance before you get shuttled to the factory, but yeah, you see the planes getting made.
TripAdvisory ratings seem pretty good. Tickets are $75 US.
What? No, they should be 25 at the most.
Oh, yeah, okay. It looked like those are for tour groups. It's not actually in Seattle. It's 25 miles out.
Yeah, it's in Everett, but definitely worth it. Now there's a Museum of Flight that's closer to downtown Seattle, but that's not the one you want. You want to go to the one that's in Everett so you can actually see the planes being constructed.
Move on.
Yeah. So since we're up in Everett, you do that first thing in the morning, like 8:30. But then you've got to book your tickets in advance online. Then on your way down, you're going to pass by Tulalip Casino on your way back to Seattle. But don't stop there. You're going to Snoqualmie Casino to eat at their buffet. And then after that, you're going to go hiking at Rattlesnake Ridge. And that's not a bad hike. And there's a rock near the top, and it's just amazing.
All right. A casino. When I think Seattle, I'm not thinking casinos. I go to Vegas.
It's not bad. So it's a Native American owned casino, so they're not taxed, and so they have a ton of money, and they're beautifully built, and they're out in the mountains. I don't even gamble. I'm just there for the food and the view. And when we're talking about casinos, there's also Suquamish Clearwater, which is across the bay on Bainbridge Island. And because it's so far from the city, the restaurant's buffet is way cheaper, and there's free self-serve drinks. And well, you get free self-serve drinks at Snoqualmie also, but
I'm only seeing Rattlesnake Ledge.
yeah, that's it. The ledge. The ledge is a giant rock at the top of the mountain.
It says it's 4 miles round trip.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's a busy trail though. On the weekends, you're usually going to be in eyesight of someone going up or down, but it's because it's an amazing trail.
So it's full of snakes?
No, that's just the name. I don't think there's any poisonous snakes in Washington, but okay, so that'll put you in the mid to late afternoon by the time you're done. And then I'd head back into the city. And the good thing about that is you'll be going against traffic at that time, since everyone will be heading out from downtown. During rush hour. So I'd head to Pike's Place Fish Market at the waterfront, which is this famous area with a bunch of retail shops. But the most famous is this fish market there, where they throw the fish across the counter when customers place an order. And so there's actually a business book written by the owner called When Fish Fly. And it's about how he set the culture at this fish market for success.
Okay.
Well, okay, so then after that, right across the street is the first Starbucks ever, and it's not a big shop, and it's usually pretty crowded because of the tourists. But but I mean, if you're there, it's definitely worth to peek your head in. I heard that even though it's the first Starbucks, it was originally at another address for a few years in the 1970s, but then it moved to that location.
Do people from Seattle think Starbucks is the best coffee? Or do they realize it's not?
Well, I'm not a big coffee drinker, and the Starbucks thing is more because it's famous. There's also a Starbucks Reserve up on Capitol Hill, which is basically a super fancy Starbucks where you can see the beans getting roasted and grinded. I remember when that first opened a few years ago, there were long lines to get into that.
For not being a coffee drinker, you seem to know a lot about Starbucks. Is there a company tour I can go on?
Uh, well, there's a corporate office in South Seattle, but I don't think they give tours.
Prices are much higher than regular Starbucks. Is that even possible? You're not a shell for Starbucks, are you?
And I don't think Starbucks gets much exposure for being mentioned on your show.
All right, move on.
So I would end it in that area with dinner at this amazing Italian restaurant called the Pink Door. And then after that, I'd take a visit to the gum wall.
Guns?
No, gum, like chewing gum.
I like how you balance the classy Italian restaurant recommendation with a visit to the gum wall. And I'm just guessing what that is.
Yeah. It's a wall where people stick chewing gum up on a wall, and you can add your own.
Stay classy, Seattle. All right, move on.
Oh, that's it.
So, that's your go-to itinerary when you have family in town.
Or friends who have never been here before, yeah.
All right, thank you, Bryce. Next up is Mike. Are you there?
Hi, yes, Paul.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so I'd start the day out in Fremont. It's an area just north of downtown Seattle. It's got some really interesting things to see while you're there, like the Fremont Troll and the Lenin statue.
Tell me about them.
Yeah, so someone shipped a statue of Lenin from Czechoslovakia in the 90s, and it's been on display since. And it's just a few blocks. Oh, and just a few blocks away from that, under a bridge, is a statue of a troll holding a Volkswagen Beetle. I don't really know much about it, but I mean, it's a really cool thing to see.
So, let me say, I have been in Seattle, and I've been to that Lenin statue and the troll, and I don't see what the big deal is.
Well, we're spending our day in the area, and it's not out of the way, and not a lot will be open yet at that time, so it's worth a look.
Well, we've got a graphic on both places up right now, and yeah, that's pretty much what they look like. There's no sense of awe when you see either, and if it's just to show how quirky Fremont is, well,
the troll is used in a bunch of movies that are supposed to take place in Seattle.
I think the Space Needle will be used in movies that are supposed to take place in Seattle.
Like 10 Things I Hate About You. Yeah, well, that too.
10 Things. What's the biggest movie that takes... It's gotta be Sleepless in Seattle, right? Is the troll in that movie? The Ring. Never saw it. 50 Shades? Really? Was the troll in either of those?
I don't know.
All right, move on.
Okay, so then I'd head down to the waterfront to Gasworks Park. It's on Lake Union, and it's where Seattle's 4th of July fireworks show happens. But it's really cool because you have the view of downtown, but the park was originally a coal gasification plant. So when the city turned it into a park, they had an architect come in and incorporate that history into the design. And it has this really cool post-industrial Iron Giant feel to it.
The pictures don't look very flattering. Is that rust?
It has a lot of character.
Okay, what?
So then I would head into the University District to get brunch at Portage Bay.
A restaurant?
Yeah.
What's so great about it?
It's just super organic. They have this fruit topping bar that you fill your order with. The fruit is usually fresh cut, but I have noticed they started using frozen and canned fruit sometimes, but still it's pretty good.
TripAdvisor classifies it as healthy American food in a cafe.
Yeah, well, it's just a brunch place, so it's only open until like 2.
Most of the one-star reviews on Yelp mention a crazy long wait and terrible service. Bad parking.
Parking can be tough, but we're going first thing in the morning. You can make a reservation, but yeah, there's a line out the door a lot of times.
Bad service?
No, I haven't experienced that. Like what specifically?
It takes a long time to get service. It takes a long time to get service?
I don't know, but it does get busy and loud sometimes. It's not a large space and it's popular, but I'm sure the overall reviews are great.
Okay, after breakfast, then what?
Okay, so then I'd head downtown to the EMP Museum. It's right next to the Space Needle. It's a music and pop culture museum. So the history is that Paul Allen, the co-founder of Microsoft, was a huge Jimi Hendrix fan and was collecting his stuff and a bunch of other memorabilia. And he wanted a place to store it all. So he commissioned the construction of this bizarre-looking museum. It was designed by Frank Gehry.
I see Mop Pop Museum.
Oh, right. They changed the name a few years ago. It used to be called EMP.
Okay, how long will that take?
You can spend a few hours there, but then I'd head over for an Amazon headquarter tour at the Spheres.
What's that?
So a few years ago, Amazon made this office building that's in the shape of 3 giant spheres. They have a tour that happens on the first and third Saturday of every month, but you need to book tickets in advance, but it's free.
Bezos balls?
Yeah, that's what they call them.
What's inside?
Well, it's a really nice office space. It's 4 stories tall, but there's an incredible diversity of plants, and it's just really cool architecturally and with the stuff they've put into it.
There aren't any tour openings for this month. What if I just show up? Is there anything to see?
Well, there's a small visitor exhibit. I think it's called Understory. That's at the base that you can walk into, but it's terrible. There's an Amazon Go store that you could check out that's in the building next door, but no, you can't just get into the Spheres unless you know an employee or you make that tour reservation. You really need to get that. You really need to get that reservation.
What's Seattle's biggest company? Amazon, Microsoft? There's Boeing, Nike.
Nike's in Oregon, but well, how are you measuring biggest? Employees or revenue or what?
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah. So if the weather's good, I'd then head up to Capitol Hill to check out Bruce and Brandon Lee's grave. It's actually not that easy to find, but I can tell you exactly where it is.
I just typed it into Google, and it came up. Is this it?
Oh, they must have updated it. But yeah, you come in from the west entrance and make your way around because there isn't a straight road to get to it.
Okay, move on.
So this is going to sound weird, but there's this amazing video store I take my friends to. It's called Scarecrow Video, and it's just amazing. It's a video rental place, okay? But it's got this long history in Seattle, and it's not just Blockbuster. It's like the anti-Blockbuster. They have this amazing international section divided by country, and they have laser discs and VHS tapes for things that were never released on DVD or Blu-ray. If you're a movie nerd, you definitely must come here.
The Yelp reviews are amazing.
It's a Seattle icon. It's a nonprofit now because that's the only way they were able to survive Netflix.
The last bad, not recommended review was 6 years ago, and it was about late charges.
So I end the night by seeing a movie at Cinerama in downtown Seattle. It's a single screen theater from the 1960s that can show 70 millimeter prints. It's amazing, and that's it.
So there you have it, folks. 2 schedules, 1 winner. You vote in the comments below whose is better, Bryce or Mike. We'll tally up the votes after we receive 10,000 views. 10,000 views, Dan? Yeah, is that too ambitious? How about 1,000 views? $1,000 to the winner's charity after 1,000 views. No? Okay, we don't have that kind of money to be giving away $1,000. All right, $100, $100 to the winner's charity. Vote in the comments below, and we'll announce the winner after we get 1,000 views. If we get 1,000 views.
This concludes the session. Thank you for choosing SEI Project Management Services. Have a nice day. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that like button.